Hey guys, welcome back to Brandon and the Fat Man. I'm excited to be able to get with you on this video. This video is going to be a little bit different. Sorry if I'm a little bit flush. I just finished up another video I've been working on that I told you guys about. I did my push-ups for today. This is day 10. But this video and for the next, I don't know if they're going to be in order, but for a few videos that we're going to do, we're going to talk more about the workouts. So we had last video, we talked about workouts. Today, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about specific workouts and what I call alternative workouts. What I mean by that, these are going to be adjusted workouts that, for example, today we're going to talk about push-ups. How you can adjust push-ups, because most of us can't do a bunch of push-ups and can't maybe even do one, some of us. So this is going to be different ways of doing push-ups to be able to get some workout, some effort in there and do what we can. So we're going to do that with push-ups. We're going to do that with several other things. So we're going to go through a lot of those different things with a few different videos here. So that being said, let's get right into it. Okay guys, so doing these adjustments are not going to be as effective as doing the real thing. But as most of you know, if you're going through this with me, you're probably not able to do the real thing. Or if you are, you're not able to do as many as you would like. And if you could do them, great. If you can't, that's okay. That's what doing these adjustment workouts are for. We're not about hurrying up and trying to get to as many of regular push-ups as possible. We're about slowly increasing what we can do, slowly doing more, slowly adjusting our food, slowly adjusting our workouts to get better and better every day, to slowly lose that weight. We're not trying to chop, 20% of our body weight off in a week. That's not what it's about. What it's about is making these minor adjustments to our lifestyle and making those a habit, making those a part of the way that we live. And that's what's going to have the effective change that's going to last. Making those big adjustments most of the time doesn't last. It'll work for a while, but then it doesn't last. And you guys have probably, a lot of you have probably already done these diets and you've gained it back, and diets and gained it back. That's why you want to do the slower approach. Losing it just a little bit at a time. Adding more of a workout, adding more cardio, adding more calisthenics, adding more weight training, or whatever the case may be, adding more a little bit every day or at least every week. That way you can do just a little bit more and get a little bit more of that off. And the better you feel, the stronger you can make those adding. What I mean by that is, as you lose weight, as you start to feel better, then you may have added 10 feet a day on your walking, let's say. But you get to a certain point, well, you're not going to only have to add 10 feet, you can add 20 feet a day. Then you could add 50 feet a day. It just depends on, how you get closer and closer. So you'll be able to add that little bit of increase over time so that weight can decrease over time. So let me show you the first one. This is not anything new, and again, I've not made any of these up. These aren't something that I created or anything like that. These are just things that have helped me, I've seen, and I noticed. So what you can do is you can take your feet, put them out like you're doing a push-up, and go on the back of the couch and just start doing push-ups. Now, for me, I can do about 3 to 6 push-ups at a time on regular push-ups. Mostly regular push-ups. We'll get to that another day. But as you see, I'm doing these, and it's not that difficult for me. Now, it is effective. It does do some, but I would have to do a lot for it to affect me. But for you, this may be the level that you want to go to. But we're going to switch to another level, and we're going to see this. What we're talking about is just adjusting, doing the same motions, but adjusting the difficulty to where you're able to do it now and slowly build up to it. Let's get to another one. All right, we did the front or the back of the couch. Now what we're going to do is move on to the front of the couch. Front of the couch on my couch is about 1.5 feet lower or so. So you take that 1.5 to 2 feet, whatever distance or difference in the height, you're going to have a lot more difficult time doing the push-ups. This is actually the one that's going to be a lot more my speed. So let's go ahead and do a couple of those. Same thing. You just, accordingly, you put your feet out a little bit further, find a strong point on the couch, and you do your push-ups. And you can hear my voice. This one's a little bit harder to do. And again, you're increasing that difficulty once you get to that point. If you can do the back of the couch, that's awesome. If you can't do the back of the couch, then that's okay. I've got one for you too. If you can do this one, great. Then you're doing that, you're upticking that difficulty. Another one, many of you probably know, you can actually be fully on the floor, but be on your knees and then do the push-ups from your knees. And that one as well, you'll probably be able to knock a whole lot of them out a lot easier. And it is going to be able to do some things for you. And you'll be able to build up, and do to a different style. So let me show you the one I've got for you if you can't do the one on the back of the couch. Okay guys, so if you can't do the back of the couch, you can't do the front of the couch, you know, there's always chairs. If you don't have a couch, there's a kitchen table. You might want to scoot the kitchen table up against the wall. If you're going to use something like that, it's not going to be as heavy, so it might scoot on you. You want to be safe the way you do these. But if those are too difficult, it's too much of an incline for you to be able to do it, then what you want to do is just use your wall. Find a wall that is easy for you to get to and have space. And you can vary this one a little bit too, just to change the difficulty. So you don't want to start straight up right here, because then you're going to push yourself back and fall. So you want to scoot your feet back a little bit to where your hands come out and you're at an angle, and just push yourself in. Now, for most people, this may be something very easy, but for some of you, that if you don't do a whole lot yourself, then it may be something that you need to start with that. The beauty of using a wall is, if you're starting right here with it, you can actually do better. You can not do better, but you can increase this one as well, just from where you're standing. So if you can do this and you start to get to a point where this is getting a little bit too easy for you and not maybe that effective, you can just take one step back and you'll be a little bit further away, and you're using a little bit more weight as you do so. Now, you don't want to go too far, because then you're going to risk falling, and again, you want to be safe with it. So if you're getting to a point where it's seeming like you're unbalanced, then that might be the time to start moving to something like the back of the couch or the kitchen table, or something else that's maybe chest high or just below chest high. When you're using your hands on something, the higher your hands are, the easier it's going to be. And as you go down, that means your feet will have to go back a little bit further. And that gives you, as you lower the degree of your body, if you know anything about math, 90 and going down, the further you go down on that incline, or the angle, I should say, is going to be more difficult for you, but it's also going to be more effective. So if this is where you got to start, this is where you start. Don't feel bad about that. Feel good about it. Feel good that you have somewhere to start, something that you can do. So again, if you're starting with something like walking, great. Then you can build and build and build. So that's my alternative for push-ups. I will show you, because I've done one video before, at least one that shows another for pull-ups. And I'll show you that at the end if you've not seen that, if you've not seen all my videos. But if you have, stick around and watch it anyway. But I'll show you an alternative for that can be helpful. And there's other ways you can do that one as well, but we'll get into that another time. But I also want to tell you, if you're one that is at a point where you can knock out 15, 20, 25 push-ups without too much trouble, or even if it is hard to get to that 25 or something, and you want to start to challenge yourself to build yourself up to, again, a better level or a different level of where you've been, then reverse that. Reverse what we were talking about with the push-ups. So when I said that when your hands are at the highest, it's the easiest, and you work your way down to get more and more difficult till you get to the floor. Well, the reverse is true on difficulty when it comes to your feet. So when you're on the floor, you're at your easiest with your feet, and then if you put your feet on something elevated like the bottom of a couch, then you do your push-ups. That's going to increase the difficulty. If you put your feet on the back of the couch, it's going to increase the difficulty. If you put your feet on a wall and go higher and higher until you're basically doing vertical push-ups, and I think there's actually a name for those, and I can't remember what it's called, but you're doing those, and of course it's going to be even more difficult because you're putting more weight on your hands, which is what's doing the push-ups, your hands, shoulders, chest. That's actually not the hands that do the work, but all these muscles here. But anyway, we'll not get into all that. But those are some alternatives you could do to actually make it more difficult if you're at a different level, a higher level than what I'm at as well. So there are many ways that you can adjust these workouts to make them easier, to make them more difficult, to the point where you can actually do it and make a difference in your body and in your life. Guys, I love you. God loves you, and I'll see you next time.